and he keeps saying stuff like you can't teach an old dog new tricks. But that's basically what this internet has done, is help me learn new tricks.
Oh, I want to congratulate you for being Agent of the Month at June 2024, and it is Paul as our Agent of the Month. So just a huge congratulations to you, so well deserved. And we'll get into the reasons for that in just a second.
Well, thank you. I was a little shocked, but it sounds good.
And you're showing up from sunny California, so thank you for
Well,
tuning in.
no, I stuck the Golden Gate thing behind me just so everybody would think that's where I was from.
Once a month, the entire team gets together, as folks would know by now, and we choose the person who has made the biggest impact on the community, has consistently been showing up and contributing. And so that person for the month of June is you. And so, why is that the case? And I'm going to describe a little bit of your journey because I think it's a relevant and important one to tell. And that is one of starting out an agent shift, right? Which is taking our tools and our training and our software and closing IUL and annuity business off of that, and then graduating onto Agent Shift Plus, which is marketing. Something as well, Paul, is that you've really made incredible contribution by showing up to our coaching calls, our sales coaching call, our case planning call, our CRM call, and contributing and asking wonderful questions there. You're also a partner agent as well on top of all of that. So if we could, now that we know the story, do you remember when you first came in, when you first met with Jucebox? How did you hear about us?
It must have been a Facebook ad, I think. And it was the $97 deal where you got the forecaster. And I was immediately impressed with the software when I started using it, and I had no idea when I talked to Stephen, who then recruited me more in not, from that $97 deal to Agent Shift. He told me all this other stuff that was going to happen, and I was kind of surprised because I liked what I'd seen in the software, and I thought this is a great tool to be able to use.
At the time that you joined us, at the time that you went from using, kind of the basic version of one of our tools, which it sounds like you were able to purchase, to kind of the more advanced and joining Agent Shift. At that time, what was the biggest problem in your business before you joined us?
Well, I think it was that, just getting in front of enough people to talk to. I don't think I was ever afraid to talk to people, but the software emboldens you to know that you've got the solution if it's right for them.
Could you talk about how the software, the forecaster tool that you're describing, how has that been helpful for you, if at all, in helping to close business, since that's kind of a topic that just came up?
I've always believed doing a financial plan was important, and I think it comes as close to doing a financial plan. It's got everything in there: tax, asset management, forecasting, etc. And Jim seems to, I don't know, I guess there's other people besides Jim doing it, but Jim keeps adding to the software. In fact, I saw something on Roth conversion the other day that I didn't even know was there. Maybe one of the things I needed to do more was to have a little bit of sales theory, maybe, or how to sell, especially over the internet. That's been helpful too. All of that background stuff is really good.
Can you talk a little bit more about the virtual selling component, which I think is what you're describing, about how can I sell in this new virtual world where it's done through Zoom? And so do you mind speaking a little bit more about what have been some of the big takeaways from that training that you think others might be able to kind of, glean some insights from as well?
I'm in business with two other guys. We each have our own business, but we do some collaboration. And the one guy's 19 years younger than I, and he keeps saying stuff like you can't teach an old dog new tricks. But that's basically what this internet has done, is help me learn new tricks. And I'm pretty comfortable with it now. And I've been, doing it for a little bit now, but it feels fine. It's good to be able to see people. And I think it's close to being able to the same as being there with them.
would you mind talking about, out of all of the things that we do, and some of those things you've already described, which is coaching and training and sales system and marketing, can you describe what's been the biggest takeaway for you across all of the gamut of what we do? What's been the biggest takeaway that's led to closing more business for you?
I think having the ability to take a case in front of everybody, have Jim look at it. I feel like Jim keeps on the cutting edge of things so he can keep up with what's going on and can lend advice. I think that's huge. Again, I think the various kind of videos that are in the background that are in Agent Shift, that stuff's really good. I think that's great. There's a lot to learn there. I'm still trying to go back through them, but I think that's been the best thing for me.
What about to somebody who's starting out in agentship right now, Paul? And again, I think you are somebody, of course, who has graduated from agentship and moved into marketing, and a lot of people want to be able to do that. So for that person who's starting out in agentship, let's say right now, this week, what are some of the tips and tricks you would say to that person to speed up their journey?
I'm going to urge them to do something maybe that I haven't done as well as I should have. Don't be afraid to talk to your friends about it, because it's amazing. Most people just kind of go through their early years not thinking about retirement, thinking that there's no reason to have to think about it now. But, I keep telling them, if you do something now, if you plant a tree or more trees now in the right soil, it's going to be a lot better than having to buy a tree down the road and have it planted. Yeah, I think that's huge, and I think it's interesting just finding out where all the like I'm getting a lot of leads. It's interesting to see where people are. They're just all kinds of different situations. None of them are the same. Everybody has their own problems, their own presuppositions. It's just you don't ever know what you're going to get when you get someone on the phone. And it in a way, it's kind of fun. It's certainly not boring.
Well, what about externally, to the person who was like you 8 months ago or a year ago, who is looking at Juicebox and they're on the fence about joining? What do you, talking through the lens to that person, what do you say to that person who's considering joining Juicebox?
I think it's worth the money. It's worth the investment. I do think, I'll say it again, I've sing Jim's praises and the whole staff behind him. I think his that whole support system, both in the videos, in the live training, in the case training, even looking at how to do some of the stuff with the forecaster that get a little tricky. Because I had one where the guy was going to retire in 2 years, but I wanted him to take part of his TSP and run it for 5 years. So you had to manipulate that forecaster a little bit to do that. And coming on those calls are what helps you do it. So yes, I would say jump in.
And I didn't pay him to say that.
That's right.
My friend, a huge congratulations to you. June 2024, you're starting off your summer right as the agent of the month. Just a huge congratulations to you and to many more to come.
Thank you so much, Jared.